Oh no! Oh, come on. This is awkward.
Previously on the FPV Livestream.
Time to test out the Z quad. Left. Maiden! The best quad I have ever flown in this formation. It. Honestly, though, like, really not the worst flying experience ever.
And now, get ready for yet another episode of the FPV Livestream, in which we build the Atmospheric Adventures Hercules.
Good evening and welcome to yet another troubleshoot required episode, the FPV Livestream. I am your host, Paul Merkala, and tonight we are building a Atmospheric Adventures Hercules. I had a little trouble here at the beginning with this. Don't put your intro video on your hard drive, which is not plugged in, because you will have a bad time of it. Anyway, so now that we got all that sorted out and we're here, we're going to go ahead and jump right into this build. First of all, if you're a newcomer to the stream, welcome. I do this every Thursday to do a build or promote something or have a little bit of fun. Last week we built something called the Z Quad, which is super hilarious and stupid, but fun. And this week we're building something a little bit more serious. It's a quad that supports the Connex Prosight. Audio funky? Oh boy. Let me know if this audio is a little bit better. It is a decent mic. It's a freaking Yeti. So if you're a new person, thank you so much for coming back, or coming out Thursdays, 8 o'clock. We're here every week building something. Next week, if you're a returning guest, thank you so much for coming back on Thursdays to support the channel and have a little bit of fun. And if you're a vendor, let me know if you want to feature something on the live stream. All right, let me know if anything goes wrong with that audio. Again, I appreciate your feedback on that. Okay. Excuse me. So, tonight we're building the Atmospheric Adventures Hercules. It's their Prosight capable quad that you can purchase and use with the Connex Prosight. So I'm guessing that the majority of people don't have the Connex Prosight. So if you don't know what it is a digital FPV system. And what that means is that instead of using an analog signal, which is basically just, waves of information traveling straight through the air, it's sending a digital protocol. So it's actually sending bits of information through the airwaves to be translated on the ground station end from just raw data. And the Connex Prosight, which is this thing right here, which is I just already have mounted on the top plate, is the piece of hardware that accomplishes that. This is the video transmitter side. And as you can see, it's rather bulky. So compared to your normal video transmitter, this is a TBS Unify, it's got a little bit of heft to it. So it's a little bit bigger, but it does some pretty interesting things, which I've talked about a lot on the channel and will continue to talk about moving forward. The Prosight recently supported HD at 720p at 60 frames per second, but prior to that was either HD at 30 frames, which is really hard to fly, or standard definition digital at 60 frames per second. So now it has 720 at 60 frames, which is really good. Where's the Honda Civic wing spoiler antenna? So that's a good thing to talk about. So with this quad, the Atmospheric Adventures Hercules, it comes with these little side plates here. And these things mount on the side of the frame, and into which slide the actual antenna. So what he's talking about is the whale tail, which is a really, really big stock antenna that comes with this thing. none of which I have handy, unfortunately. But it's very large and very heavy and very obnoxious. And so this will this helps bring it kind of down into shape, protect it a little bit better, and this gets things working much. It keeps it protected, right? This is an expensive setup. I think each transmitter is like $80 or $90, and it's just kind of tricky to make sure that everything gets. You want to make sure that everything's well protected, and that's what this frame achieves. I've got a surprise for the flight controller. We'll come back to that in a bit. So with the frame, you get one full-size bottom plate. It's a single piece, no arm cracking potential, 5-inch capable frame. You got this camera cow catcher out front, and then in the back there's an XTC or XT60 cutout thingy, so that you could put the XT60 perfectly under that, and it will just kind of stay in place, which is really nice. Dumb question, but don't the antenna plates need to be at a 90-degree offset from each other? They are supposed to be at an offset of each other, but we've found that you get pretty okay video quality without putting them at an angle of themselves, and so you're taking a compromise on video clarity to a degree, probably more on range than anything else, but in exchange for weight savings and protection. So this is the frame. It's got 8 standoffs and a top plate, and it will look like that when it's done. I'll set that aside. We're putting F60s as motors on it. For speed controllers, we have these guys, which are from Ready to Fly quads. They are the 30 amp Blur ESCs. Oh, here's part of the whale tail. For a receiver, we are using the Futaba R700 6SB, which is an S-Bus receiver. I've got some ESC protectors from Atmospheric that we're going to put on here. Cabling for the Prosight, and a LiPo strap. Then, set these aside here for a sec. The blurs in the F60s match. Look at that action right there. They kind of match anyway. That RX is huge. Yeah, it's huge. It's just in a case. I could take it out of the case, but this is a big frame, so I don't need to. It's just, yeah. So, and anyway, the flight controller we're going to use is the Lumineer Lux V2. I was talking with Tim Nilsson from the Get FPV and Lumineer, and he sent out a couple of these guys for me to play around with. I've been flying them with a different quad, and this one is going to be sweet. Why Futaba? Well, this is why. This is the Futaba T18SZ. It is sweet, but more coming with that in later videos. But yeah, this thing is. There will be some updates with regards to receivers, but don't worry about that for now. Anyway, so, oh, we need a power distribution board. Where'd it go? This is a new power distribution board that Atmospheric has been working on. Nothing special about it, really. It has 2 built-in linear voltage regulators, and I've been wanting to build it. What gyro on the Lux V2? MPU 6000, not a 6500. What's the go with Blur? Are they BL Heli S? They're not BL Heli S. They are regular BL Heli, but I have them flashed to multi-shot 18.5 or whatever, or 8.5. Did I spy an SD card reader on there? Yes. Is it for the black box? Yes. Is it F3? Yes. Ready to fly quad simple PDB. New blingy radio? Yes. Love allow you treat it much more gently than your Tyrannus. Maybe that's why the sticks are breaking. Wrong. I'm assuming they fixed the gyro with their Lux. Yes. Wait. What? Come on now. More info on the Futaba. No. Okay. So I'm going to take some of these standoffs off because it's going to be impossible to fiddle around with all the wiring on the bottom of this thing. Do you even D-shot, bro? I have not D-shotted once yet. I thought about doing it for this build, actually, just because I wanted to, try to stay relevant, but it doesn't seem necessary yet. Wow, a bunch of people dropped as soon as I said Futaba. That's funny. Alright, standoffs. Looks like I need to order more sometime. I D-shotted once, never saw that girl again. What? Favorite battery. My favorite battery is the Pulse 1550 Graphene, probably. I'm a pretty big fan of that one. So any tips for a aspiring drone pilot with no money? Make money. Then fly. Then fly to make money. Brown drove the DeLorean with the Futaba in 1985. Yeah, boy. Futaba is huge in commercial RC control. Yes, I agree. Yeah, I'm never gonna try to argue the Futaba. The transmitters and stuff like that are just too divisive. I'm just gonna fly what I like and do it unapologetically. Jeez. Okay, let's see. This hobby is worse than owning a boat. That sounds tricky to me. Are you going to Sebring Air Expo in January? Most likely not at this point. One more stand. How many pairs of pants does Nelson travel with? I would guess at least 4. Oh, I should have actually planned this. I've put my power distribution board on backwards because I wasn't thinking. Huh. You worried the flight controller will short on that carbon fiber? No, because I have that comes with the all atmospheric quads is a little 3D printed separator that keeps the carbon fiber and power distribution boards apart from each other. Oh, I forgot to start the soldering iron. What up, poor man? What's the use for those holes at the end of the arms? I think they're just weight savings. We did them on the Kratos originally. I told them to take them off because I think they're silly, and instead filled them in. But it's just the idea would be to save weight. But have the nubs to protect the motors from getting dinged up. We're just waiting on the soldering iron to heat up, and then we're going to tin up this power distro board. Yeah, all those are the alien holes so you can hang your quad. Yeah, that too. Put them on the wall. Like this display of quads behind me. Those F60 look worn. Yeah, they're well loved. They all work fine though. I very rarely kill F60s. Like I think I've maybe killed one or two, and they all just kind of keep chugging along. So if you run the ESCs on the bottom, you can run the motor with wires through the holes. You might be able to do that, but it's a bit of a tight fit. Man, nobody's sticking around tonight. 4-in-1 ESCs or 4 ESCs preference. I prefer 4 ESCs. The flex on that Z-Quad looked nasty, yes. Shirt is a Detroit Multi-Rotors shirt. Alright, so I'm trying to get the length on my XC60 right so that it's just perfectly lined up with the back of the quad. Do you power the VTX off of LiPo? Yes. This VTX anyway, not other ones. Didn't know you were affiliated with them. I'm not officially, but Joe Englund, who runs Detroit Multi-Rotors, is a friend of mine, and they're a neighboring state. So, to a degree, I support them. Red XT60, yes sir! I believe that red XT60s come with every single Atmo frame. I think Drone Eclipse will send you... Drone Eclipse or Multi-Rotor Mania, one of the two will send you black ones. I really like the red ones. What gauge power wire do you like? I assume you're talking about to the battery. I'll usually use 14 or 16 depending on the size of the build. In this case I'm using 14 because it's a slightly larger machine. And then, yeah. So I think that's what you're asking. 60-40 solder, of course. I put the wrong color on the wrong wires. Oh, that's funny. Alright, so now that's going to be perfectly in place when we put the back plate on, because it will cover up like that. It'll just be sticking out the back nice and perfect like that. How was flying with the cam on the rear of the Z? It was really fun, actually. Like, I really enjoyed it. It was definitely a different experience, that's for sure. But I enjoyed it a lot. Okay, so now I've got these little ESC protector thingies from Atmo. And basically what you do is you put the zip tie through, and the zip tie goes through on the inside like that, so that it will zip tie down to the frame without showing the zip tie, which is pretty cool. Dive any buildings lately? I assume you're talking or referencing the Rotor Riot video. It seems like they got the smackdown by the community a little bit. Which, yeah, that is what it is. I am actually pretty okay with diving buildings if you're yeah, there are people who should, and there are people who shouldn't. I think that if anybody can, the Rotor Riot guys can, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not going to argue one way or another whether it's okay. Come on. So when I did this before, I zip tied it on second, because now it's like getting hung up on the zip ties on the inside, so I guess you have to do it that way. How thick is the base plate for? Ah, what? Thing moved around on me. Okay. So now this ESC cover will slide over like that, perfectly protecting the ESC. And then zip tie it. And voila, beautifully laid ESC. I want to try powering it up because I want to check the power distribution board before we get too far. What's Boba Fett? You should do a video where you show your whole workbench and go over basic tools and your setup. I think I've done that. Or something similar at least. Alright, magic smoke. Woohoo! No fires. Alright, I just want to check the voltages coming out of this thing. Okay, we got 5 volt there. 12 volt there. Sweet. RC Wrecker, I second that. Second what? Sorry, no smoke today. What are the ESC covers and why do you use them? I went through a period of flying where I was killing ESCs because of prop strikes like once every other day, basically. I was knocking capacitors right off the surface of them, and I got sick of that, so I started using ESC covers on everything. I got these red ones from Atmo, I've got these other green ones from FPV Direct, and I just, it keeps everything. I haven't, so let's see. On my Kratos build, was one of the builds where I was killing stuff all the time. And then I swapped on ESC covers, and I have not killed one since. Going to use telemetry. Probably not, as the OSD on this is good enough for me. Props blow through heat shrink, yeah. So that's why I've been using these big 3D printed ESC covers. Oh wait, shoot. Which I forgot to put on. Oops. Did it skip for you guys too? It skipped? What do you mean? Well, I hope I'm back now. Sorry about that. I will make a video about my workbench sometime then. Yay! What's your favorite frame? Kratos. Obviously. Why does nobody use the power cube? Inferior ESCs? Hard to maintain, hard to fix. Expensive. All right, 2 done. 2 to go. Z Scally says, "What up?" Paul, did you go to Flight Test? No. Flight Fest. Flight Fest, yeah. No, I did not. No drone racing, no bueno. I'm 12 and my dad says no. That's too bad. Your dad's weird. Plus I live in California. Well, that's probably part of it. Should have led with that. You don't use the ground wire. Yeah, I always get asked about that, but I don't know for sure one way or another. It's solved problems for me before. When I flew this quad with the Z quad, I didn't use them and it was okay, so I'm just kind of hoping that I have the same experience here. Ah, there's one in there. Need to do a quad build out of just black wire sometime to just get rid of some of it. My question's too personal. I missed your question, I'm sorry. You can share it again. Those F60s got miles on them, yes. So I got a question. I currently have a Lumineer 4-in-1 35 amp ESC with X number 22 06 2300 kV motors. The issue I'm having is that it seems like one of the ESCs stopped working, so I get the quad and put it on the table and ESCs reinitialize. That doesn't sound good. I'd love to set up a race over here at the Speedway. Let's do it. I'll be down. I'll fly in and fly there. How many F60 2200s to give away? No, I have never had an F60 2200. I only fly the 2450s, which seems like the best KV, like 2400 to 2500, somewhere in there. Seems to be a sweet balance between power and RPM. How did that get so long? Not using S-Bus? Yes, I am using S-Bus. Coming out with cheaper S-Bus receivers? Yes. Ground wire isolates computational circuit. Totally unnoticeable to most mortals. I think he's calling me out. Race me, bro. It's another one of those divisive issues that I just kind of try to avoid. Like radios. And just do what I like doing. Do what I feel like doing. Because everyone's going to have a different opinion on it. And nobody has time in their life to listen to everyone's opinions. for no reason. I hope that I've left myself enough room to reach these standoffs. Yeah, we're good. Futabas are sweet and S-Bus OGs. Oh, S-Bus 2, I don't know. I don't know what S-Bus 2 is. You do you. I don't use a ground wire either. That was just the science. Got it. Well, this hobby doesn't care about science. It's all about hype and feel. Which is only funny because it's sad and true. How did you get the Futaba? To learn more? To experience the other side of the fence? So that I can have awkward conversations like this where I say I don't know what S-Bus 2 is? J Hubby, does the 2450 work on 6-inch? Yes. You okay tonight, Paul? You seem a bit frustrated, bro. No, I'm not frustrated. I'm fine. I ditched reading homework and just do a little spark noting it. That sounds the way to go. Anybody tried TS2207 motors? Yes, I have them. They are sweet. If you want a good F60 alternative, they're pretty good. They're not quite as good, but they're fun. I don't think they quite have the oomph for racecraft 5051s, unfortunately. And that's what I love about my F60s is flying the 5051s. Bulb causing teens not to do their homework. Yeah. I've been accused of worse. S-Bus 2 transmits all the telemetry stuff. Oh, okay. So it's just telemetry. Paul, can we try something new? Yes. What? What's a Boba Fett anyway? Doesn't matter. Another skip. My physics teacher loves drones and the FPV live stream, so he will understand. Your physics teacher watches the FPV live stream? If so, that's awesome. Can we put the FC on the base plate and the PDB above it? That's possible, but I probably won't do it tonight. I actually really want to have this flying for the weekend, so I don't want to do anything too weird. Oh, well, we've got a lull. I will mention that tomorrow night I'm going to be live streaming again, but not on my channel, but instead the DR1 Racing Twitch channel. Tomorrow night at same time, actually, I think 8 o'clock Eastern. And we'll be building a Kratos. It'll be kind of a quick build. I've done a lot of prep for it, so you kind of get just like the high level overview real fast. Just trying to draw in a new audience. So if you want to come out for that and support me there, as well as the DR1 team, that would be sweet. I'd love to have you guys stop by, but if you're busy, with your lives on Friday night, I totally get it. I saved homework for tomorrow. I hope you have HD goggles. I do not have HD goggles, and that's been a big source of frustration for me. And I've been trying to work to resolve that. But for now, I'm just flying them with Dominator V3s that have the HDMI input. Wait, Boba Fett, you do live streams every Thursday. Most every Thursday. I miss occasionally due to life, but I aim for every Thursday. Does it look better on Dom V3? Better than what? Man, I'm sitting here rebuilding and getting frustrated. I wish I had a nice fresh build to do. Yeah, there's nothing like a totally fresh build. I love starting from scratch. It's real satisfying to watch it all come together, and you don't have to be annoyed at your laziness from past builds. Do you recommend racing with a quad over 350G on 5-inch? I don't have a problem with that. It's I mean the Kratos race Kratos that I fly with F60s and big ESCs and all sorts of 3D printed protectors and all that stuff weighs in at like I want to say just over 350 actually, but it has the power to make up for it. But so yeah, I have no problem with over 350 grams on 5-inch. Like, can you see a difference with Connex on Dom V3? A difference between what? Do they give you a free frame to build? Yes. How did you start? I bought the Mini Quad Bros kit as well as some toy versions, like Hoopson and Nano QX and all that stuff. And then I got the Mini Quad Bros kit and learned how to build from that. And then I just practice a lot. Like, even just today, when I had time for just a couple batteries, I went outside and flew the course I have set up in my yard. Just to, keep getting better. In terms of pay, I don't make money off of this, but I don't spend a lot of money either. Between YouTube and racing and stuff, I've come pretty close to breaking even in general. I'm looking for a way to make it a job, but as of yet have not had success in that regard. Why not 6-inch? Yeah, it depends on the course. What's your day job? I am a contract self-employed web developer. So I'm a programmer. And so I usually put in 6 to 8 hours a day doing that, and then probably a couple hours doing family stuff, and then 2-3 hours every night either flying or working on YouTube stuffs. How sad will I get if I fly in light rain? I've gotten away with it a few times. So it's a risk you gotta decide for yourself. Let's see. C# HTML. I program primarily in the language Python, using the framework Django. It's my favorite combination. I do a lot of AngularJS, Postgres for database, Less for style sheets. No, sorry, SAS. And yeah. Any insight as to... Hey Paul, greetings from Norway, great build. I'm also building an HD drone, the Seagan Drone HD. Awesome. That's the one that Bapu flies, I think. He's kind of the Jesus of HD FPV. Bootstrap, yeah. Some people say 2300 racing, 2600 for freestyle. Depends. I don't have a strong opinion on that, actually. I like different aspects of both. I prefer like somewhere right in the middle with the big stator, so that you can spin heavy angle props at high RPM. Okay, so I know that I said that I was going to use this Lux, but I remembered some things about it that I'm going to forget about for now, just because I want this to be flying. One of the issues being that the firmware isn't officially out, and it's not flashed, and that's a pain, so I'm just gonna go with something else. So we're gonna steal the flight controller off of this here Z quad. I've already gutted the ESCs here I'm using are from the Z quad, so I'm just gonna strip this off and use it. Sorry, buddy. Will there be a Maiden tonight? Yeah, always. No, the Z. the Nix, the Lux does fly well. I have it on another quad. I'm just not going to use it tonight. Good motors on that thing. This one that I'm working on, or the Z quad? Because I guess both, kind of. But was self-level to acro hard. Not in FPV. In line of sight, it definitely was. But yeah, I agree with Walkoff. Skip self-level and just go straight for acro mode and get confident there first. Okay, so this is the power plug for the Connex system. It goes straight off of LiPo because it has a voltage indicator. Or it has a voltage indicator, rather. And it itself powers the camera, so this is the only thing you need to solder for the video system, which is pretty great. And then I'm going to need a 5-volt line for the flight controller, which is this pad. What's a good budget flight controller? The Flip 32 F3 from Ready to Fly Quads. That is my favorite flight controller by far. Yeah, the Connex is super easy to install if it fits, yes. And that's the point of this frame. I don't know how I keep breaking them. I don't know. You just gotta be more careful. Or stop buying them. I just don't have the money. Yeah, that's a tricky part of this hobby. So this again is the 5-volt rail for the flight controller. Because the Flip 32 F3 doesn't have an onboard thingy-mabobber. Yeah, I know that was very clear. Thingy-mabobber. One thing about the Flip is that it does not have the hole spacing is slightly too small, and as a result can be a pain in the butt sometimes. Like especially if you're putting it on like a Shrike where it's hard mounted with aluminum standoffs, like it's very tricky to get on sometimes. But I've yet to encounter a situation in which I can't use it. So just something to keep in mind. Where's my tweezers? are different tweezers. So this is the... Actually, I'll move this camera over here a little bit. There we go. What are your winter flying plans? I have no idea yet. F60 TS2207. Yes. F60s are still better than the TS2207s. Okay, motor 1. Got it. Is D-Shot worth the upgrade? No. No upgrade is worth it if it changes how your quad flies. I would say what I do with stuff like that is I always have one build that I don't need to count on, in the sense that it might, changing some settings might make it fly incorrectly, but I'm not going to be trying to use it in a race or whatever. And that's where I try stuff like D-Shot. So if you have something like that, if you're fortunate enough to have a build that's just dedicated to stuff like that, go for it. If you don't, honestly, I would say just fly what works. Should I get a brushed micro and learn how to acro fly in that? I would say no. I don't think any brushed micros fly good at all. Some people swear by the tiny whoop. I don't really like the tiny whoop. $2,600 kV and 4-inch 180 size frame. Will it be good with a GoPro? Yeah, it'd be fine. It wouldn't be the best experience ever in terms of GoPro hauling, but what you described there is setting yourself up for success with 4-inch. I mean, I've done GoPro videos or GoPro flying with 22.0 or 1806 13 or 2300 kV motors and made it work. One of my favorite videos was using that. Yeah, if you're really that concerned about learning acro, use a sim. But learning acro is fine. You'll be fine. You just gotta do it. If you can fly a helicopter in Battlefield 4, you can fly acro. Sims meaning simulator. Just get the DRL sim. It's my favorite one. Play with your rates until they're where you like them before you get frustrated, because the default rates are stupid. Okay, let's put the last couple standoffs on here. Balbafet, what do you think of race flight versus beta flight? Beta flight only. I don't like race flight. Can I hook up a Fly Sky radio to that? I have the T6. I think so. Why are the defaults stupid? I don't know. It just is hard to fly. They're aggressive, and how do you transfer rates from sim to real quad? You use the degrees per second, and then the RC rate is just a curve on top of that, so it should translate directly. Don't listen to anyone who tells you to start in acro. Don't listen to that guy. He's wrong. Work your way up. No. Start in acro. Okay. Let's power this bad boy on. Magic smoke in 3, 2, 1. Yay! Okay, so the camera has this giant cable, which I don't know anything about, but it obviously just plugs in the back here. And then this end will plug into the Prosight VTX once we get that installed. So I kind of do and don't like about this frame is that there's a lot of room. So it can be nice when you're used to having really fat quads, or really skinny quads, I guess. But then when you think about it, there's a little bit of weight that's left over that now is unnecessary. Oh, we should probably hook up our receiver, huh? Have you ever thought about getting an AP rig? Yes. I don't have the working capital to do it. Unfortunately. So I think it would be really nice for the vlog and whatnot. I would say from experience that you should fly like 5 minutes in level mode, feel how the quad works and how it flies, switch to acro, and never go back. When did you stop liking race flight? Every time I tried it, it never worked right. It just flew funny for me. No matter what I did, no matter what configuration, no matter how much I tuned it, no matter how much the race flight team helped me tune it. And so I just kind of was like, I don't need to deal with this anymore. At the same time, Jordan Temkin, who won DRL, was having similar issues with his, and the combination of me not being in a place where it wasn't working right, and then the same thing happening for even someone as talented as him, I just gave up. There's no point. Beta Flight flies so well. I would argue better. And it's about knowing your craft and how your craft flies more than it is anything else. So why waste my time on it? Let's see. I want to make sure that I'm not reversing polarity on this thing. Pretty sure ground is the bottom rail. No, I think that's backwards. Okay, yep, we got it. Dang, almost an hour and a half and you're almost done. Yeah, I built a lot of these things. You need to be on the hype train, but you don't have to have a front seat. Nice. Are you using PPM? No. Well, I see just invested into 2 Revolt. I hope it works out for you. What's the difference between X and H quads in terms of flying? Not a ton. Comes down to personal preference more than anything else. Okay, so we can put these little side plates on, which again are the antenna holders. I did test fit this last night and I did get everything to fit right. Put some screws on top of the standoffs here. Okay, so now for this, what I did was I kind of just, because the antenna wires are really long, I kind of just wrapped them up so that they will stick over the top of these standoffs, which, you know, isn't the most amazing way of doing it, but you know what? I do what I want. So I gotta plug the power in the back. Which I'm trying to do upside down. And the camera in the front. Which I'm also trying to do upside down. And then we can squish these guys down over here. Yeah. Worked so much better the other day. Bear with me. Oh, I put these standoffs in here and they don't fit. What are you using in terms of electronics, ESCs, motors, and FC? ESCs are Blur from Ready to Fly, and the motors are F60s, T-Motor, and flight controller is Ready to Fly quads, F Flip 32 at F3. So it's not as tight of a fit as I'm making it look. I'm just struggle bussing. Where'd all the screws go? Oh yeah, they're over here. Hey Boba Fett, give the Z quad remainders away. We'll see. I cut my dad's nose with a mini quad on my second flight. Nice work, dude. True, if when I break the doinker, get an owl and just throw the parts in that. Looks like it's gonna get real hot in there. New. Need to unwrap this once. There we go. So like once that's in, it's awesome. It holds it in place perfect. But it's just a little bit tricky to get it in right. I should have put the antennas in before, but that was my mistake. Is this 5-inch? Yes. Giveaway today. No giveaway today. What's your regular job? I'm a web developer. He codes and makes websites. Yes, that's another way to put it. Oh no! And my back plate came out. Hercules. It's a pretty cool frame because of the side protectors and how well the Prosight is protected and stuff, but it's kind of tubby. He just kind of looks like a little frog, a frog. I don't think it weighs much more than it. Like it's not like it's super duper heavy or anything. It just looks a little tubby. Just what I'm so used to looking at things like the Kratos. Paul, you're the primary reason I got so into FPV. Sorry about that. My bad. What FPV camera? This is the one that comes with the Prosight. Boba Fett FPV fueling addictions since I don't know. Whenever I started doing this. Literally pouring gasoline on fire. I need zip ties. Yo, what is your website and how do you spell it? What do you mean? So no clover antennae, no. Have you tried a full kiss D-shot setup? Not a D-shot setup, but I have tried a full kiss setup. You will only fly KISS once you do D-Shot 600. What goggles do you fly with, Bulba Fett? I fly with Dominator V3s. Well, luckily I don't fly race flight, so... Dude, it says your website may be hacked. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. I think I'm in the process of moving things around too, so I gotta figure that out. I don't use my website very much right now. I thought you liked race flight. I did for a while, then didn't work right. Oh, that's not big enough. So why do you heat shrink the zip tie before heat shrinking the zip tie? It just grips that thing better. I've had problems with the heat shrink, or with the antenna sliding out of the heat shrink in the past. And so just kind of giving it something to grip onto, both on the front and on the back. If you know what I mean. Look at that. there's a mini quad. We got some smokes. I don't know what from though. Thought it was this ESC maybe. I think it was just like a carbon fiber short sort of thing. Oh yeah. I bet you that's what it is. So I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but I think there's I think this wire, this power line has gotten crushed by the standoff, and I think it's just touching the carbon fiber down there. That's all it was. Yep, that's the issue. Let's see if you can see it. You see that wire there, right underneath, right next to the nylon standoff? That's what happened. And that just shorted against the carbon fiber a little bit. I don't think that nothing will be damaged as a result of that. Yeah, I'm confident everything's fine. This is the fun of live TV, though, right? You guys all think that I'm not smart and don't use a smoke stopper. I legitimately have not gotten one because I think that the majority of you come just for the magic smoke. The FPV live stream. Watch me blow stuff up so you don't have to. Don't forget the countdown this time. It was such a minor smoke that you couldn't tell, hardly. Alright. Magic smoke again. In 3, 2, 1. Voila. That really was it. VTX is on, camera's on. The camera actually even has a little LED to let you know that it's working. And then the Prosight has LEDs on the side that blink whether or not you're connected and stuff. Electrical smoke smells so horrible too. Yeah, I do not like it at all. That thing is ready to go. Yeah, we'll Maiden here in a second. We gotta just make sure that all of our settings are set up right in Betaflight. I think my arm switch, for example, is on the wrong. Wait, where's the VTX antenna? Right there! It's in these little protector thingies. Because Prosight. Can't believe nobody's asked me to weigh it yet. The VTX was already on the top plate. Oh yeah, I should have showed you more about how that's done. It had the Prosight comes with like a set of screws and stuff, and there's and some like aluminum standoffs, and so it has mounting holes that are already built into it, and so it actually installs real nice and secure and clean. You can see the screws for the VTX right there in the top plate. Okay, Betaflight. Oh. It's impossible to reach the USB with this frame. At least the way I have it set up. Shoot. I didn't think about that. Needs props before wait. Yeah, I'm gonna wait until the props are ready. That's obnoxious. USB, no SB. Kratos are back in stock, by the way. What? They are? Just try it? No. We're gonna be hovering here in my office. I can't just try it. It's not your day, is it? No, this has been a good build compared to some. Were you here for the My Kratos one? That was insane. Okay, that was easy enough. Alright, desktop mode. Alright. Close, get rid of all this crap. Move this out of the way. Alright, we need a Betaflight. Connect, receiver. Alright, let's make sure this is working. Grab our sexy Futiaba. Give it some juice. Trying to find my link light here. Should be bound. Model select. Linking failed. What? Oh, whoops. There we go. Okay. I left it plugged in, which was turning the thing on, and that was causing the issue. Sorry. No, it was my fault. I forgot to unplug the flight controller from the computer, which was powering the receiver. So when I told it to bind, it was still on the whole time, so it never went into bind mode. So that was just me being stupid. Receiver. Okay, configuration, serial, S-bus, CLI, set, S-bus, inversion equals off. No. On. Save. Rebooting. Receiver. Boom! Okay. And then Futaba has a different channel map. Save. Boom, locked in. Locked and loaded. Now, my ARM is aux1, so I gotta go over to modes, make this aux1, save, I'm gonna make this aux2, save. So now if we ARM, things spin, if we go black box works. Boom! Paul, can you move the video of you? Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. Yes. Let me do that. Move. There, I guess. Paul needs to fly Spectrum. I'll give it a shot if somebody sends me a nice Spectrum radio. He deserves better. Yeah, radios are too divisive. Let's see. And then I need to check the motor directions. Okay, motor 3 is backwards. Motor 1 is fine. Motor 2 is fine. Motor 3 is fine. So motor 3 is the only one that needs to be changed. I have a DX6i. I regret everything. Paul needs to fly free sky. Okay, so now we can go into the BL Heli configurator, which is a godsend. And this is the other reason I forgot that I didn't use the Lux, was that this thing doesn't work with it for some reason, which I need to ask them about. Reversed. Right. Disconnect. Alright, good. Alright, let's get this side plate back on. We'll go over to what doesn't work exactly. VPC pass-through I don't think works quite right, or I'm doing it wrong, and so that's why I want to ask. Before I say anything one way or another. the far sky. People are too busy flying. Alright, let's slap some props on this bad boy. Does anybody use the TBS Tango? No, nobody uses it. How do you live stream? YouTube live stream and a piece of software called OBS. What do the RX for the Tango look like? Or is it just JR modules? I thought it was just a free sky. What in the world? Like both them two screws I picked up were stripping. There we go. All right, Praps. Oof, that thing looks nasty in a good way. Oh wait, I've got never mind. They're not in here. 50-51 kills batteries. No. I like how he says props. It's super Midwest. Props. HQ 5040 Tri-Blade is the best. Gonna need those monster props for that tank. Okay, wait. Yeah, I guess that's a good thing to do next now that we've got the props on. Let me tighten them down quick. No red lock nuts. I do have red lock nuts. I just need to go get them. They're downstairs, and I don't think it's worth it. Okay, I gotta put a lipo strap in here. You guys heard of the black labels yet? Booyah. Put the lipo on top. I demand it. No. I always put them on the bottom. I'm just a bottom mounting kind of guy, if you know what I mean. I just am a bottom mounting guy. Oh wait, we forgot to weigh it. 50-51's bit my finger. That sounds like a personal problem. Where's my scale? There. Oh, it's sitting right in front of me. Like literally directly behind the camera. Okay. On. On. I'm just using this to lift it up. Then I'm going to tar. Nope. Tar, okay. Now I'm setting this on top. Whew! 401 grams. That's a chubby tubby. But you have to keep in mind that these props are like 7 grams each, where others are 3. They're 36 gram motors. They've got the Prosight in there, which is another 20 grams heavier. So really, this is the same weight as any other big quad, but it's just heavy. But yeah, it's a bit heavy, but that's okay. It will, I think these motors will make up for it. Alright, you guys ready for some Maiden action in this really small room? I'm actually kind of nervous about this. I don't have a ton of room to work with. Here's a shot of my junk. Okay. I'm gonna go way over here. There, laying on a nice comfy dog bed. There you go. Is that a dog bed in the corner? Yes. The name of the battery, it's a black label, indestructible quads. So, but yeah, do a flip. I very strongly considered doing a roll, but I decided it was going to end in sadness. No oscillations whatsoever. kicked up a lot of dog hair, it looks like. So there you have it, folks. That was Acro, yeah. Do a giveaway of the backpack. No, it's my backpack. I want my stuff. I use it every single day. Oh yeah, I guess I'll grab. I think I put a video up about this guy. This is my Prosight ground station. It's got a DVR here and a Prosight there, and yeah, that's that. Betaflight defaults, not quite default. This was the tune that was on the Z Quad. So yeah, that's the thing. So, Atmospheric Adventures Hercules. It's available on their website for, I don't know, like $100 or something like that. Lots of protective carbon, so expensive cut, all that fun stuff. Comes with the power distribution board, pigtails, 3D bits, all that stuff. So, yeah, this is the quad. This is this is probably a $600 machine right here with the Prosight and the Prosight stuff and the frame and the motors and all that. So yeah, that's how you build the Atmospheric Adventures Kratos. That's how you install a Prosight, which I believe is working. We can try it, see if it's actually working. I think the VTX is on a different version of the firmware. So it may not work. Let's see. Gaggles. Where's my HDMI cord walked away. Doesn't look like it's binding. Actually, I think there's a trick. You gotta like plug in a USB or something. Ooh. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll have to fiddle around with it more. I have to like bind the video transmitter and the receiver and stuff like that. It doesn't work quite the same way as it does a regular video frequencies and all that. But I'll make a post once I get it up and running. I'm sure I'll post some DVR from the Hercules. So, but yeah, in the meantime, this was the Atmospheric Adventures Hercules, from whence you can also find the Atmospheric Adventures Kratos if you want to have a real cool quad. Everyone liked the stream. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. And then finally, so just remember that tomorrow I'm going to be on DR1. So you can see my DR1 stuff there. So if you want to come check that out, you can see stuff that's cool like this. Oh, baby. And yeah, so definitely if you have time tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Central, stop by, check out the Drone Tech show on DR1. And yeah, other than that, I'll see you next Thursday at 8 o'clock to build probably the Multi-Rotor Mania Machete. We're also going to build that with the kit, with the Prosight and all that. So that should be an interesting project as well. So thank you everybody for stopping by. I've been Paul Nerkala, and stay flying.